Okay, ready?
Yep.
You okay there?
Yep. Greetings, Internet. Welcome to But I'm Still a Good Person by Vince Nicholas. I'm Vince Nicholas. I'm joined by my sparkling wifey, Carolyn Nicholas.
Hello.
Hello, honey. Thank you for joining me on our bed for our little presentation here. Okay, so Lennox made a bold decision in his bedroom design. Oh, he's like that one guy on HGTV. Not that guy, the other guy. The flannel guy, the handsome guy who wears the flannel. Property Brothers. Can you tell us what he did with his room design, honey?
He decided to get rid of his bed frame and put his mattress directly on the floor. And also he moved around some of his dressers, got rid of some baskets and storage stuff.
He does this every few months.
Yeah.
He makes some changes. He moves his bed from over here to over there. What's the mattress on the floor? He's been wanting to do this for a while.
Yes.
And I always treat it like it's a fleeting fancy. Like he'll forget it in 5 minutes, and he won't bring it up again. But he's been pretty consistent, and this was on a weekday. We had turned in, but he was insistent, demanding. So we went up there, and he's got a bed frame, easy to put together, easy to take apart. But I was like, "Here's the Allen wrench, bro," and you go to town, and there's not much room up there. I held the mattress, you helped him with the Allen wrenching. It was quite the process.
Yeah, his bed's metal, and
The frame, yeah.
the frame is metal. Yeah. It's not hard to take apart, but it did take time because there's so many little screws and wrenches. We did need to get a wrench to help us at one point.
Yeah. Why did he do this? Do you know where this desire came from?
His bed is way too big for his bedroom space. It's a queen size.
Yeah.
We shouldn't have bought that bed. We should have bought a twin size for him because
Twin?
the room is so tiny and the bed just like takes over. So just getting rid of the frame makes it feel a lot bigger, and it's not so difficult to walk around and maneuver in there.
I see. It's like when real estate, they put a big mirror in a tiny space, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, there's a lot of room here. The whole time I kept singing in the song in my head, put the mattress on the floor, put the mattress on the floor. What do you think? How's he holding up?
I think he's much happier. It looks good up there. If he's happy, I'm happy.
Yeah. I took one look at it, and I said, you're either a 20-year-old man in his first apartment, or you're Japanese. But I've slept on the floor. I slept on rollaway beds. I've slept on barely mattress, some shag carpet here and there. When our torrid love affair began, your mattress was on the floor.
Yeah, for most of my adult life, I didn't have a bed frame. I had a box spring with a mattress on top.
Right.
And that was my whole setup.
Yeah.
And then for a portion of my youth, I slept on a twin mattress just straight on the floor. I liked it. I like being close to the floor.
Really?
I like the simplicity of it.
The what?
Simplicity. Bed frames, I like the one that you and I currently have. And some of them are really nice and pretty, but sometimes they're just cumbersome. They take up space. They're unnecessary, especially if you have a tiny room.
Yeah.
I like sparse furnishings.
Okay.
I don't like a ton of stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a minimalist too, but I'm also an adult, and I need a bed frame. Our current bed frame was given to us by Judy Zune, previous owner of our condominium. She got it from R.C. Willey for a couple grand, and she gifted it to us because she's a good person and we're good people. But when our torrid love affair began, and you had mattress with the box spring, I was like, okay, this is temporary, right? We're gonna upgrade this, right? I see here in my notes, honey, you have a fun Fisher family fact about your brothers and mattresses from your youth.
Well, all of us grew up with twin-size beds, and this blows your mind. But even more extreme than the twin-size bed is that for a while, two of my brothers shared a full-size bed, but it was like one of those beds that fold up.
Yeah.
Like they're standing up and they fold up, and then you can open it. Yeah. And it was like metal springs. Yeah,
like you call the hotel, you say, I need a roll-away bed, and then they wheel it in, and they say, okay, you got to undo it somewhere.
Yeah, so they had that for a while until they switched to, they got their own twin-size beds after that.
Until how old were they?
Probably one was middle school and one was elementary.
Oh, right. Because there's an age difference, too.
Yeah, they have like a 6-year age difference.
That's a sizable gap. Wow.
They shared a room, like our whole upbringing, because we didn't have enough bedrooms for all of us.
Right.
So, yeah. And I think they were both fine with it. I think they liked it, actually.
Yeah.
It was a good time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when you have gratitude when you're little, or you don't know any better.
You can sleep anywhere when you're little. You don't have these body pains. You're not picky.
Yeah.
I could sleep anywhere.
I had a red roll-up mattress / futon, and calling it a mattress / futon was generous, to say the least. But I took that thing, like, if I knew I was staying someplace, I would bring it with me for a certain amount of time, couple weeks, couple months, and I would sleep on it. And then finally, I gave it to one of my roommates, this guy I was living with in LA, Julian, and he smoked weed all day, every day. And so it was Grandpa Curtis's little red mattress. And I took one whiff, and I was like, I think you can keep this, Julian. And I told Grandpa Curtis, and Grandpa Curtis was like, it served us well. We don't need it anymore. But I brought that thing everywhere. It lasted for years. It was barely comfortable, but it was something. Do you think Lennox is gonna change his mind? Because he is a teenager, and they don't stay on decisions very long.
I think he's perfectly happy with having no frame on the bed. He does like to have a change of scenery, though, so I'm sure like every few months he'll be wanting to switch it up. He asked us to get him a twin size.
Right.
And I'm fine with that, too. He just doesn't his room is so tiny.
Yeah.
So maybe a twin size mattress on the floor would be good for him.
I think the floor space, the square footage is normal, but then he has the low roof, the ceiling, the angled ceiling, which, again, an optical illusion makes it seem smaller. Well, it is smaller. But I don't want my 13-year-old in a twin bed. And he's tall. His ankles are going to hang off the bed.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. I'm not sure. He is tall, but I slept in a twin bed. My brother slept in twin beds.
Yeah.
I guess it's only a problem if you're super tall.
Yeah.
But as long as your head and feet fit, what more do you need?
I would say at least a full. Well, I don't want his friends making fun of him. You're in a twin bed. What is he going to be, 17, 18, 30 in a twin bed?
When I was a teenager and I saw other teenagers who had a bed bigger than a twin, I thought that was so luxurious.
Oh, yeah.
And like, you guys must be rich.
Yeah.
You're spoiled.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it.
I know. Yeah.
That just was so out of the ordinary for me.
Yeah. I have this twin from this mattress from who the hell knows where. And the bed frame is barely put together. It was the wood headboard, wood footboard, and then those long metal things to connect the two. And then I even thought a box spring was big time. I was like, oh, you really out here, ain't you? But I love our current. I don't want to sleep on the floor.
I'm not suggesting you and I have to sleep on the floor, but if he wants to, then that's totally fine with me.
For a while, because when we moved in, again, back to Judy's own, she gave us a bunk bed, and that was Lennox's, but he wouldn't sleep in it.
Yeah, he never slept on his bunk beds. He slept on the floor.
He would literally sleep on the floor in his room, sleep on the floor in the living room, because he didn't claim, he didn't say he was scared, but I think he was scared, or being up that close to the ceiling.
Yeah, there's something about that he couldn't stand it.
Yeah, and he was smaller now, and he's probably really embarrassed if I actually brought this up to his face. But yeah, I think he's fine on the flow. And it's a look. It's a vibe. That's all a man needs. A mattress, a television, a telephone, and an Xbox. So the HOA election happened or is happening, honey. How did we do with our voter guide, and who did we pick, and how did we pick them?
There's there's 2 open spots and 3 people running.
Oh.
So one person is not going to get the vote.
Wow.
They each wrote up a little biography, which was fun to read. Get to know our neighbors a little bit better.
Oh yeah, you actually looked at the pictures and everything.
I read everything. I read the instructions. I read the biographies.
Are you gonna put it on Goodreads, honey?
If it counts toward my yearly goal, yes.
I read a pamphlet, an HOA pamphlet. How did you decide which 2 to vote for?
I may have been influenced by outside forces.
Yeah.
Gossip, influential people talking in the neighborhood, if you will.
Our vote is for sale to the highest bidder. A lovely neighbor who we value and care for told us to vote for 2 specific people. And it was like, shrugged our shoulders like, oh. It was just like how we treat real elections. I mean, right, honey?
Yes,
but
the propaganda works on us.
Yeah, you voted for a guy and a gal, and what's gonna happen now?
Who knows?
Are we gonna get like lobby money? Are we gonna curry favor? Are we gonna become part of the elite political class? Is that all? Is that what's gonna happen? Let's get some power in the HOA board. I just want the HOA to I don't know. See, I don't know if they can ever lower our dues, our monthly dues, but I want it to stop going up.
You need to run.
We need to run.
Well,
you need to run, and I'll wield power.
Okay.
From behind.
I'll be the puppet.
Yeah, I'll be your first dude. I think we could do good. We could kill it.
Okay.
Our local Rite Aid is closing because all pharmacies are closing or whatever. Rite Aid / Thrifty. Biggest loss is that we used to go there once in a while for ice cream. Thrifty Scoop was about $2, and now we've lost that valuable treasure. The nearest / closest ice cream is Salt and Water, which they carry Gunther's, which is like top-notch ice cream, but it's dang near $5 for a scoop. I'm gonna miss Thrifty.
I am too. That was a fun little outing that we do sometimes for ice cream. You know, the Thrifty brand sells their ice cream packaged.
Yeah.
But I don't want that.
Right.
I want it fresh from the container on a cone.
That little scooper thing that they do. They put it in the water. They put on the gloves. Oh, it's like a Subway sandwich artist practically. The Subway sandwich artist from the 80s. But I mean, the writing's been on the wall because we'd go there for ice cream once in a while, and then we'd walk around the Rite Aid because we were bored, and it'd be hot outside, so we don't want our ice cream to melt. But like the shelves were barren, and it was just, how is this place staying in business?
I think all Rite Aids are closing.
Yeah. Nationwide
or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the last few times their ice cream, not good. Like there were ice chips in there, and you could tell like
frosty.
It was old, or the taste just was off. But I'm gonna miss the $2 ice cream, and Salt and Water and Gunther's is excellent. But man, when the Thrifty ice cream hit, it just hit different. It was good stuff, and I just have fond memories of going to Thrifty as a kid.
Yeah.
Grandpa Curtis would take me there for a scoop or two. Oh well. Rip. Our air conditioning, honey, heaven sent from above. We've been enjoying it. It's been super nice. How have you been enjoying the AC?
It's been fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm cold. I'm wearing a hoodie and socks all the time.
The last few days it's been 97, 98 degrees, but it's been a easy breezy 72, 73, 74 inside. It's like, oh. Well, even today we went out for a little walk, And before walking out the front door, I said, "Are you ready for hell?" Because you walk out there and you're just like, "Oh, this is terrible." A few times I've woken up and it's 80 degrees, and sometimes I crack all the windows. I open up all the windows. Sometimes I just throw on the AC because, with Frankie, in an ideal world, we would wait till 7, 8, 9 p.m. and then open up all the windows and everything would cool off. But we can't trust Frankie Blue around our window screens. It's his fault. He should be paying our gosh dang PG&E bill. But so sometimes I just wake up. If I have time, I crack the windows. If I don't have time, or I just don't want to stare at Frankie or keep tabs on Frankie, I just crank on the AC and it gets to 77 or whatever. But it's been so nice. I love it. Thank you, Jesus. He's from Ray's Air Conditioning. Jesus, he's a manager. But I'm so happy we got it. And July, August, when it's over 100, honey, do you think we'll be okay?
Oh yeah.
Will it still get to 73, 74?
Yeah, because we'll turn it on before it gets too hot in here.
Okay.
And then we'll just keep it cool all day.
So take off all your clothes. The nadir of Boom Boom Honey. So listen, kids. Lennox and Luna are out of school. They're on their summer break. So while we're at work, they sleep. And then they're up all flipping night. It's really impacted the Boom Boom activities, honey. Do you have any thoughts, feelings, comments, reflections?
I don't expect anything until August.
Yeah. Okay.
But we're on hiatus and there's nothing we can do about it.
I'll see you in August, but until then, let's be friends.
And oop.
Okay. So, we have a bird pooper, and the best I can surmise is that we have a sprinkler on our balcony. It's high up on one of the walls in our balcony. And it goes up there and it poops and then it flies away. And I put down a fresh piece of cardboard and it's accumulated a lot of turd over the past few weeks. And that's all there is up there. It's just the fire alarm sprinkler thing. And it's just this one spot on our entire balcony where it poops. But I see here in my notes, honey, you may have spotted the bird pooper. Can you tell us more about that?
Yes, today a bird landed on the windowsill outside of the window where Frankie sits on his perch. And it stayed there for a while, like 10, 15 minutes, and it was just walking back and forth. It looked like the bird that I think I've seen up on our patio. It's big.
Yeah.
Like, we get hummingbirds that come, but this is a bigger bird.
Oh, no need to body shame, honey.
And the fact that it was strutting around in front of where it knows Frankie sits.
Yeah.
Taunting him, taunting us.
Yeah. Frankie gets taunted all day by birds, by fellow outdoor cats who walk by all day. Drives him nuts. I mean, that's why he tears apart our window screens. Could the bird be upset that the hummingbird food is not always changed out so frequently, honey? Like, current stuff is hard, yeah?
I got to replace the stuff out there. It's not hard, but it's been sitting in the burning sunlight, boiling. Yeah. They haven't been eating it lately, so I think they don't like the food. I need to do a fresh batch.
Yeah. Refill that hummingbird feeder. I don't know what we're gonna do. I don't know. I've looked at some Reddit threads and I'm still confused. But we just got to take away access to that sprinkler thing.
How?
I have no idea.
We can't do anything out there.
Cover it with cardboard?
No. We need the sprinkler in case there's a fire. You don't want to cover that up or mess with it.
If there's a fire, I'll take down the cardboard.
As you're running out of the house?
Yeah. I'll smack it down. Or it'll get... water can go through cardboard, although it would severely hamper it. I don't know. How do you fight bird poop on your balcony? Let us know down in the comments section below. Operation Fat and Frankie is no more. I put the kibosh on that. It's been superseded by Project No Vomit because he recently vomited. For a while, I was feeding him heaping tablespoons. We used the Chinese restaurant soup spoon in his food to scoop him up a serving. I was giving him heaping mountains of his kibble, but after he vomited, no mas, no bueno.
He's gained about 2 pounds,
Yeah.
so I think that's good. I think his vet would be happy. So we can go back to feeding him normal amounts.
Yeah, I do like barely. I don't even fill it to the rim with brim. It's maybe 25 kibbles, give or take. We saw Frankie escape, so he got out. He poked out one of the window screens, and he limbered through the hole, and then he somehow there's like a little ledge out there, and he gets his body to the handle rail.
The rail of
railing.
our outdoor patio.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, it was crazy to see him in action, and if I was doing that, I would fall.
Yeah.
I don't know how cats are so good at climbing and staying on tiny spots. It's incredible.
He could make it out of Alcatraz. He's very lithe and limber, and he's very slow. Like, it's not quick. He's not dangerous about it. But it was something to see his long, sinewy body go from this tiny little ledge up to the balcony.
He has no fear of that. No fear of heights, no fear of death, but he's terrified of a plastic bag.
and carbonation and soda pops when we open a 2-liter bottle, he freaks out.
And he's terrified when I open the door to the dishwasher.
Oh yeah. Well, you're interrupting his food, his dining. Whenever he's hungry and I have to take out the trash, I'm always like, you gotta wait, buddy, because you're gonna freak out. You're gonna eat. I'm gonna with garbage bags. You're gonna freak out and run around, and then after you just eat, and you can't go swimming for an hour, and then you're gonna vomit. But he has been tearing apart window screens. This is why we can't have nice screens. I made a few new window screens. When I take out the window screen and it's just like the glass window, it's beautiful. It's hecka nice to look out at the berm. It's unencumbered. There's no distractions. I'm like, wow, this is living. But I have made a few window screens. We could pet proof every single window, but that would be $1,000, give or take, and I'm not putting that.
It's expensive, and I'm worried that Frankie would still be able to scratch it.
Yeah.
So I'm scared to invest. I think maybe we should do one of our windows with the pet proof screening.
Yeah.
And see how it goes.
Oh, and then we could leave that window open.
Yeah, we should test it out.
Yeah.
Because if it does hold against his attacks, then it would be worth it maybe to do all the windows. Or at least a couple of them.
Yeah. Well, it would be around $1,000, and right now I got the cost down to about $5 each time he rips apart a window screen. But that's quite pricey. We actually got new balancers from Glass West. A couple windows, a big one and a smaller one, and hop on the old email, go back and forth. How much will it cost? They said $326, and I said, how about $300 cold hard cash? And they were like, we can do that. Oh yeah, see, cash is king, honey. I learned everything I know about bargaining from Shark Tank, American Pickers, and Grandma Tian. Glass West employee came over, replaced the balancers. I saw a few YouTubes, and I'm willing to try things, but I was like, I ain't replacing no balancers. It looks hecka difficult. First of all, did the Glass West employee, did he take his shoes on? Or did he leave his shoes on or take them off, honey?
I had to ask him if he would take his shoes off. And I was scared. Every time you're not here and I have to deal with somebody coming to do something at the house.
Yeah.
If it's a man, I'm scared to ask him. I don't know. I'm scared of men.
Same.
And every time you're like, why didn't you ask him?
Right.
So this time I was like, I'm facing my fears. I'm going to say something. And he did seem, I don't know if it was in my mind, but he seemed like irritated and annoyed. But then he ended up being really nice the whole time he was here. So he didn't take his shoes off, but he went out to his truck and got some booties and wore them.
Yeah. See, booties or take your shoes off and then you're in your socks and that's perfectly fine.
I wish they would just automatically do that.
Yeah.
Because
or they ask you ahead of time.
Yeah, what you prefer. Because I hate having to say something.
I know.
It's so uncomfortable for me.
Yeah, it's not uncomfortable for me.
I know.
I say, shoes off. Don't wear no shoes in my house, like Roddy Ricch says. There's actually a couple screens that have, I just do the dark gray tape thing because I'm tired of replacing window screens, dude.
Well, if it's just a small tear, you can do that.
But the dark window screen tape is so unsightly and so ugly. And Frankie picks at it, so then that gets torn off a little. And it's just, it never ends with Frankie Blue Nicholas. You got your hair did, honey, on Saturday. What sweeping changes did you make? Can you tell the people?
I just got some bangs. Not drastic. They're kind of long. I told her curtain bangs. Mm-hmm. And they're not quite that, but
who's a celebrity who has is it the Rachel Aniston haircut?
Jeez. I don't know. Curtain bangs are common. A lot of people do have them.
So
maybe Sabrina Carpenter. That's a good example.
I saw her without makeup. She looks pretty. She wears too much makeup.
Oh, she has her aesthetic right now. She has kind of like a retro look going on right now. I don't know what you call it.
Her baby hooker motif.
You could call it that.
But I saw a picture of her without makeup, and she's okay. But I mean, she's still more desirable to me, like without any makeup, than her whole current getup.
Oh, I love her getup. She's so cute. I love her.
To explain bangs, honey, because to me, I'm a big dumb man. I am incompetent and I need help. Without my woman, I would be on the street starving. But can you explain bangs? Because I know what bangs are. They're hair at the front of your forehead, scalp, right? I'm a big dumb man. Explain to me like I'm 5.
When I came home and you saw them, you're like, oh yeah, I like that. And then I said, I had this same hair like a year or two ago.
Yeah.
They just recently grew out. And you're like, oh, really? It's just the hair in the front of your face.
Yeah.
You cut it short.
Yeah.
And then it hangs on your forehead.
And then but if you didn't have bangs, it would just be part of your long hair.
Yeah. Like, do you remember my hair 2 days ago?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you don't have bangs, it's just the hair is grown long. It's the same length as the rest of your hair, and it just blends in.
So bangs have to do with length.
Yeah.
Right, rather than hair, I guess.
It's length, and it's in the front of your face.
Gotcha. Okay.
Like if you cut a portion of your hair really short in the back of your head.
Yeah.
That wouldn't be bangs. But you cut them in the front, and then it's bangs.
Okay. I learned something today. I'm a big dumb man.
You always talk about your own bangs.
Yeah.
But because yours stick up straight, and they go up into the air. So is that why it's different to you? And mine hang down on my face.
Yeah. Because I've never had them part of a long hairdo or whatever. So I understand, like, geographically where bangs are located. But I don't understand how you have bangs and then you don't have bangs. I feel like I always have bangs, right?
Yeah, you do.
You women's in your hair.
So mysterious.
Stuff we're watching. Trainwreck: Poop Cruise. Trainwreck is a television series where they cover documentary style various mishaps and events. Trainwreck: Poop Cruise. What did you think about this documentary, honey?
It was entertaining. It was only an hour long.
Yeah.
And it was funny. We were laughing.
Yeah.
We were crying. We were cringing.
Yeah. It happened 15 years ago about that. But what had happened was, so it was a cruise from Texas to Mexico, just a couple of days supposed to be. And then in the middle of the cruise, there was a fire. Which would freak me the heck out if I was on that cruise. Fire quickly was put out, but then they lost all power. And fun fact, toilets on cruise ships need power. They're plugged into the electrical system. So suddenly they lose all toilet capability. And so people are going over the side of the ship. They're going in the shower because, well, they're just counting on gravity, and vertically the pee-pee and poo-poo will go down the shower drain. But then a couple smaller tugboats come to this giant cruise ship, and they wrap some rope around something so they can get them to shore. But the sea was angry that day, my friends. So there's waves and whatnot, and just two little tugboats tugging a huge cruise ship results in tipping and heeling and leaning. So that's when all this poo-poo and pee-pee that have been piling up in various toilets and whatever starts spilling everywhere. And so people had to deal with this for several days. The CNN made a huge deal out of it and got some ratings. What do you think about cruises, honey? Would you ever do it after watching this horror story?
No.
Really?
This made me not want to go on any cruises.
Shoot.
Not just the poop, but that moment when they lost power.
Yeah.
And there was like, do we need to excavate? Do we need to get on the lifeboats? And nobody knew what to do. It was pure chaos.
Oh, yeah.
It was terrifying.
So they have a bunch of people from the cruise that they interview, but they interview these three fun gals who have a sense of humor, but they openly admitted, like, because in the beginning of a cruise they say, okay, here's what you do in case of emergency, and the boats are going to be over here, and everyone assembles over here, and you form a straight line, and they were like, we went straight to the bar, we didn't give a shit. We missed that whole safety lesson. And then later, while the ship was just adrift at sea, food became a problem. Like, they had to wait hours for crappy sandwiches. And at one point, the ship was like, okay, well, let's do open bar, free drinks for everyone, because everyone's just sitting around bored. But really, then that turned into people getting rowdy and fights and arguing. So they quickly closed open bar. One thing I really liked was just how tribal everything got. Like, people got into their own little sections, and it was hot AF in the Mexico, between Mexico and Texas in summer. So they were outside. They couldn't be inside because it stunk and it was super hot.
Yeah, the AC was off because all the electricity was off. So people were all outside on deck. And then claiming sections of the deck.
Yeah.
Stealing patio furniture.
Yeah, fighting over chairs.
Building tents.
Yeah, yeah.
And it happened so quickly, like within 24 hours.
Yeah.
Like it was devolving into madness.
Yeah, it was a very Lord of the Flies-esque. But if Grandma T busts for us to go on a cruise, you're not going to go? Shoot, I'll go.
I guess I'll go. But... I mean, this is rare.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And I'm hoping that all cruise lines are taking better care of their ships, because there were signs that, like, there was engine problems and this and that going on with this cruise line and this particular boat.
Yeah.
So hopefully they're doing better these days.
Yeah. I think it would be, well, that's part of the risk. You're on this giant building in the middle of nowhere on the ocean. And I think that's always in the back of everyone's thoughts, like, this could be Titanic, or we could all die. Yeah, we could all die.
Those giant cruise ships, they freak me out.
Yeah,
they're so unnatural.
Yeah,
how do they float? How does it work?
The building, the engineering, the construction. Well, I think the same thing when I'm flying on a plane. Like, this is so weird, but I guess that's easier to wrap your head around than a giant skyscraper in the middle of the ocean. Okay, where are we done, honey?
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's the end of the program. It's been fun, but not really. Let's all try a little harder next time. Like, comment, subscribe, follow, review, and rate. Or don't. Do whatever you want. You're a grown-up. Make your own decisions. Do what's best for your family. Please be sure to use our promo code for Rite Aid/Thrifty. We don't have a promo code for Rite Aid/Thrifty. Goodbye, my parasocial podcast friends. I love you. My wife and I love you. We hope you have a good day today and tomorrow. And sure, we may have let someone else influence our vote. They told us what to do, and we did it.
They had an opinion.
We didn't have an opinion.
We adopted their opinion.
Yeah. We'll do whatever you say. But we're still good people, and we're still a good person. Thank you for caring. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for listening. We hope you have a wonderful day/night. Bye-bye.
And oop.
We got chicken.
Is that crispy, juicy tender? I can't eat no longer. And oop.